I have some shocking news. Prices have fallen in Atlanta for the first time in 12 years. Let's take a quick look at the April sales numbers, and then I'll give you some ideas about what it's like to be a buyer on the ground right now in Atlanta. The median sales price in Atlanta has dropped about $5,000 over the last year. In April 22, it was $385,000, and in April 23, it was just a little under at $380,000. The average sales price also fell a bit year over year from $459,000 to $453,000. So both the median and the average sales price were down about $5,000 to $6,000 year over year. Atlanta's market has fallen into balance very quickly after the interest rate hikes we've seen over the last year. A lot of buyers were knocked out of the market by the higher interest rates, which reduced demand. And at the same time, inventory has slowly started to pick up. Inventory this April was about 50% higher than it was last April. This was the rebalancing I talked about at the beginning of the year. I think we're finally starting to see that come into full effect. But honestly, to see both the average and the median sales price fall in spring in the peak home selling market, I think that points to demand being actually much lower than we thought. To put it in perspective, it's been about 12 years since prices fell in Atlanta, and that puts us all the way back to the Great Recession. Now, a $5,000 to $6,000 drop in the sales price might not seem like a whole lot, but it sure is when you're a buyer, especially a first-time buyer, and every penny counts. You know, I might be inclined to dismiss this as a statistical blip, but to see it turn downward in the spring, I think is pretty significant. And coming after a full year of consecutive interest rate hikes, that can only mean that buyer demand is just continuing to fall. What this means for you as a buyer right now is that you have a lot more time to shop and consider your home buying decision. Back in early 2022, more than half the houses in Atlanta were going under contract in less than 6 days. I mean, lightning fast sales were the norm, multiple offers. It was crazy. It was totally nuts. Now houses are staying on the market for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or longer. You just have a lot more time to make a considered and informed decision. My sense of the market right now, based on one of my current listings, is that people are really shopping and doing their homework and taking their time and considering all of their options before they get a house under contract. And buyers have plenty of options, plenty of choices in today's market. And they're getting some really good deals right now too. Buyers are like gold right now. It's weird when you look and you see only 2 months of inventory on the market. It's easy to get the wrong idea about conditions on the ground, but I promise you, if you have money to buy a home, there are more choices available in Atlanta right now than there have been in probably 4 years. Multiple offer situations are still happening for super premium houses and super premium locations. But your average house is selling at a moderate pace for a fair price. Buyers are also keeping their contingencies in place. You know, no more of this nonsense about waiving a home inspection. That's something I would never recommend a buyer do in any market. You always want to get the home inspected. The financing contingency is particularly important right now for buyers because, you know, money, as I said, it's tight. The interest rates have gone up, and you need to keep that financing contingency in place to make sure you're not put in a position where suddenly you can't secure the financing for a house and then you lose your earnest money. So talk to your agent, make sure you're getting your contingencies right, make sure you're protecting yourself as a buyer in today's market. So the good news is prices are coming down. We're starting to see a little bit of movement downward. I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing trend, but as I said, it's very interesting to see this happening in the springtime where prices should be creeping up. Whether it continues, we'll wait to see, and we'll talk about that next month. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the box below. Love to talk to you and help you plan your move to the great city of Atlanta. Thanks.